मगर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानां एकदन्तम् उपास्महे एकदन्तम् उपास्महे गणपति जगवन्दना शंकर सुमन भवानी नंदन गाइगे गणपति जगवन्दना शंकर सुमन भवानी नंदन गाइगे सदा गाइगे सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर फलदायक गाइगे गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुमन भवानी नंदन गाइगे सदा गाइगे मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगलदाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगलदाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता मांगत तुलसी दास करे जोड़े मांगत तुलसी दास करे जोड़े बस ही राम सिया मानस मोहे गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुमन भवानी नंदन गाइए सदा गाइए।
Thank you, Ms. Chandrasekhar. Well, to our friends from abroad, even if you didn't know the language, you would understand that this is seeking the blessings of the Almighty, seeking benevolence from the one above. And talking about those in power and benevolence, it's my pleasure now to request, of course, our honorable guests and, of course, our keynote speaker. I'd like to also request the Honorable Minister, Sri Lyle Stewart, the President of GPC, Hussein Arslan, and of course, Ms. Robin Anderson, and of course, the office bearers to please step forward and light the lamp, starting off this conclave. Along with our esteemed guests, I'd like to request the Chairman, the Vice Chairman, and Mr. Chandrasekhar also to please join up in lighting the lamp. Ladies and gentlemen, lighting of the inaugural lamp, which is a tradition followed in India. And as traditions go, there is a history behind it. A lamp symbolizes light. Light symbolizes knowledge. The gaining of knowledge for the benefit of all concerned. Mr. Arslan, please join in. Ladies and gentlemen, this requires a round of applause. May I request the Chairman, Mr. Praveen Dongre, to also step up. Mr. Bimal Kothari, Mr. Chandrasekhar. And after the lamp has been lit, we'd like to have a photo opportunity with the entire panel. Our official photographer will get the panel organized. A quick photo opportunity around the lamp. Can we have that photo opportunity, please? Ladies and gentlemen, the start of this Pulses Conclave 2016 right here at this magnificent Jaipur Exhibition and Convention Center. To a packed auditorium What a great start. Over the next couple of days, and including today evening, it's going to be a fantastic conclave. You know it's fantastic because there are so many delegates from all across the world, close to 1,200 and still counting. And this effort has been put together by a great team that has been working over the years to make sure it's a success. The gentleman who heads that team is a man of many parts. He's also a very successful businessman, but over the last few years, he's also been guiding this conclave as its chairman and the organization as its chairman. To formally welcome you, please welcome the chairman of the India Pulses and Grains Association, Mr. Praveen Dongre.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a delight and indeed a pleasure for me to welcome each one of you here to this third edition of the Pulses Conclave, so enthusiastically organized by the India Pulses and Grains Association. And I'm extremely delighted to announce that we have so far crossed 1,100 registrations, and we expected to close to 1,200. So this will be the biggest gathering of agribusiness supply chain anywhere in India ever. So thank all of you for your support in making the efforts to travel and join the conclave here. In the Indian culture, we see guests as representatives of God. Atati Deva Bhava. We treat all visitors with reverence and shower warmth. Over the next 2 days, I beseech you to soak in the warmth of Indian hospitality, which we shall endeavor to shower upon all our guests with a special flavor of the state of Rajasthan and this pink city of Jaipur. So do visit the city and around Rajasthan post the conference. Those of you who had participated in our early editions, that was in Mumbai in 2012 and in Goa in 2014, would realize that the conclave is just getting bigger and bigger. In Goa, I think I knew about 70% of the people personally. Now when I look around, I see so many new faces, so many new younger people. I think the average age is lowering every year as we see more and more young people participate in the conferences. And let me assure you, we at IPGA are and will constantly endeavor to deliver a world-class event by creating a platform that is network-based and knowledge-driven. But by now, the Pulses Conclave of IPGA has become truly international in nature. And arguably, I can say very proudly today, the largest congregation of the agri-business participants in this part of the world. It is also an indication of how, under India's lead, Asia is rapidly becoming an increasingly important market of the world. And in some sense, I am proud to say, even setting the global agribusiness agenda, especially for Pulses. Friends, the gracious presence of such large number of participants from many countries and active engagement of important functionaries and personalities of this market here today is an obvious testimony by the conclave's growing popularity. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Honorable Minister of Agriculture, the Government of Saskatchewan, Mr. Lyle Stewart. Honorable Minister, sir, you graced our last conclave at Goa a couple of years ago and were part of its roaring success. Your benign presence here again this time is a big moral booster for us, and I mean it under the current situation. It is indeed a big booster for us. We see it as a strong demonstration of your abiding interest in and commitment to advancing India's food and nutritional security. Also, your presence helps to further cement the trade relations between Canada's Saskatchewan province and India, which I thought have always been very dear to my heart and very special, because there is a story behind this, that when Senator Brad Wall, during his first visit to India in 2011, if I am not mistaken, had seeded the idea that India should host the Global Pulses Conclave, and it was his idea that we then took forward, and we see the results of it today, that we will be having about 1,200 participants in this conclave. I would again request you to please put your hands together for Mr. Lyle Stewart. My friend of long years and trade colleague Hussein Arslan, President of the Global Pulses Confederation, is here as our special guest of honor. Hussein, as you all know, runs a very successful global food and ingredient business and ably guides the affairs of the Global Pulses Confederation. It is a pleasure to extend to him a warm welcome to the conclave. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Hussein Arslan. And of course, one of the most charming, dynamic, globally networked persons that I know, and also one of the most energetic persons that I know, is on the dais with us today. Friends, please welcome Robin Anderson of Emerging Ag. Robin is a strategic advisor to the Global Pulses Confederation and guides the IYP 2016 initiative, not only for the Global Pulses Confederation, but does handhold IPGA in its own initiatives too. And I thank her for that. Chandrasekhar needs no introduction. He's been a friend, a guide, and I can even say a mentor to IPGA. And I am very happy that he's agreed to join us on the dais here and share his thoughts. My colleague Bimal, of course, is on the dais here, largely responsible for leading the team for creating what we will experience in the next 2 days, and a lot of the credit goes to him. So do bring your hands together for all our friends and colleagues on the dais. I'll try to make this short, but over the last several months, the Pulses world's attention has been riveted on India. As you all know, the country suffered 2 back-to-back bad harvests. First in the month of March, April 2015, followed in September, October 2015 because of unfortunate weather events, including unseasonal rains and hailstorms followed by El Nino-induced weather conditions. The overall Kharif harvest stayed below 6 million tons over the last 4 years, while demand kept rising relentlessly as economic progress permeated into the Tier 3, Tier 4 and rural India. The demand for proteins kept on increasing along with the pressures of a rising population. Successive poor harvests led to rapidly tightening supplies in the domestic market and escalation of prices of pulses. A depreciating currency did not help and only worsened the situation, making imported goods more expensive in India. In particular, pigeon peas at the retail outlets reached unprecedented levels. So we saw a combination of tighter supplies around the world, escalating international rates, and weaker rupee exasperated the price action in the domestic market. But I am very proud to say that we of the pulses trade rose to the occasion around the world, and substantial contracts and quantities were contracted by Indian importers, supplied by our overseas colleagues from across the world.